Welcome back. I thought I'd do a third video. I'm standing on a step so I can get her in. Okay, behave.
I can't help, I'm short.
Anyway, guys, we just wanted to do a quick short video just to let you know what it is we are planning to do in the rest of this vehicle and the time span, decisions that we've made, that we've both agreed on, reasons to the decisions and so forth. So let me start with the
Excuse me. Cough, it's the dust.
Let me start with the shower room. As you can see, it's been raining. No, you can't see that, can you? Soaking wet, still raining now. I was getting floods in here every time it rained. Now, I'm getting nothing. It is doing exactly what it was meant to do, and I haven't even put any seals in yet. How bizarre. Anyway, that's no longer leaking. I'm happy about that. So, progress for this, or the future jobs, that's what we'll call it, future jobs on this slide out. Well, the first thing we've got to do is make up a wooden frame. We've got to put a wooden frame up here. I haven't got anything up there at the moment, and we've got to put sill blocks in, the same as we did on the other slide out, which you'll need to check the videos to see what I did and how I did it. Metal frame has got to go in down the bottom with a block of wood on it. We've got to grind back all of the metal on there because that's where the seals are going. So we need to clear that. We've got to make a plug hole that revolves. Then we've got to put the floor in. Then we can put the wardrobe walls in and the bulkhead in. Then we can fit the wardrobe door and the two drawers that are going at the bottom. And then we can buy the PVC tongue and groove, which is going to go all the way around the whole of this, which is the waterproofer for the shower tray toilet room. The toilet is going to be raised up off the floor, roughly about the same height as what this shower is, where the walls are on the shower here. Purpose being is I would like that to dip down. Any water that gets in that area will hopefully flow back into the shower room. The shower plug itself is going to go into a tank directly below that into the generator locker, but we need to get that generator locker made up soon with the generator fitted so I know how much room I've got. I may have to make a fiberglass tank for that, we'll see. Now, the back. Okay, so that's the shower room and various other bits of the room. Now we're going to talk about this back slide out, which is no longer going to happen, I'm afraid. Based on the amount of money that we paid out to get the two pieces of aluminium made and cut and bent and all the rest of it, we need 6 pieces of that aluminium for the back, and we just cannot afford it. It's just not going to be feasible, and we do not gain any extra space because that aluminium skin, brand new, it's going to cost me close to £600 all in, because I need 6 sheets in total. I need 2, 4, 6, and that's not including the floor, because I don't at the moment know what we're doing with that. It could be made out of plywood if I'm honest with you, but there's no point in doing it anyway, based on the amount of money it's going to cost and the amount of room I gain. I don't gain any room. The slide outs will be fixed to here and they'll come along there, and then I'll have cupboards here and cupboards up the top, and when that thing is slid out I'll have this entire area here, which if I stand in a doorway as an open space, which is really nice. But that's the problem, you see. I wanted 2 sofas in here. Now I can put 1 sofa in there as I had already previously planned, but I don't have room for an L-shaped sofa because it just isn't a big enough space. The other problem is if I want to put a sofa here, that sofa would have to flat pack before I slid it all in, and I would have to make a drop floor, which I had all that planned for. But with all of that work, which is going to hang me up probably another 3 more months, it's probably going to cost me £1,000 to build this room into what I had it planned into. It's just not a feasible thing. So we want to be on the road in September. That's the plan for this truck. It was originally this June, but lockdown completely kerfuffled that. So now we are looking at September time-ish. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do up here instead is I'm going to get some flat plate, and I'm literally going to weld this all up all the way around. Can't weld to the frame because I've got fiberglass this side, plastic that side, but if I put flat plate all the way around to hold that frame in place and weld it in, like, I don't know, 1 inch welds every 4 inches, that should be enough to hold that frame. We can then use expanding foam in the gaps behind, We can then trim it off from the outside and then run a bead of sealant all the way around, and that should be enough to hold that back without too many problems. That frame still has to come out because of the windows. If the windows get bust, the only way to access those windows is by removing the rear panel, so I still need to be able to have that panel out if I have to gain access to it, and even then I don't know if I'll be able to, because that was based on a slide out moving out in order to access that, so the frame of the truck might be in the way. But don't worry, these switches, where are they? These switches are not going to waste, because the slide out framework that is under the truck is going to get converted into a bike carrier, motorcycle carrier. We've got the moped, which you've seen on previous videos. I still would like to have a crack at my bike test once this COVID thing is a bit more under control, and I would very much like to be able to convert that. So the plan is to take that whacking great ram out, which is really slow, which is ironic because I keep complaining about the two slide outs being too fast, and we're going to replace it with a 2-foot ram instead, so that will come out only 2 foot. The plan is to pull that all the way out to its maximum reach, fit the ram with the ram at its maximum extension, and then we'll cut the framework off at the back, put a new bracket on the end, build the rack on it, and then slide that back in. Because it's so close to where the bearings are, it should hold a higher weight. If I was to put the weight at the very end, which is 4 foot away, there is room for flex. We don't want flex. Flex is bad. So that's that room. Sorry, no, that's the slide out figured out. So what we'll do after that is we're going to make an L-shaped sofa come across here that can double up as a double bed. We're going to have cupboards up there as previously planned. We're going to have a cupboard up there with a telly. That glass is broke because I'm clumsy. So I'm probably going to take that window out, and I'm going to take the glass out, and I'm going to put a piece of tinted double perspex in there instead. I might, this is only might, have a projector up here beaming onto that tinted plastic, so that becomes a television screen in a sense. If you reverse the image, you could sit outside and watch telly if you had a Wi-Fi sound system to transmit the sound. So that's one idea. Cupboard along the bottom as well, and the best bit is we're taking this door down. We're going to take this bulkhead out here, this one. That one's going to become the cupboard up there, or the base. We're going to then buy 2 more of these doors brand new. We're going to fix another slider on here. We're going to fix a slider on there. So there's 2 that slide across with a fake wall in front of both door. So they're tucked away inside their home. That is the plan. We need the plywood in front because of the cupboards that are going in, you see. And then there'll be a bit of extra area here. So there won't be a lot of room, but there'll be enough to be able to sit down, proper relax. Windows can be opened up, that one can be opened, that's where I'm going to be sitting. So we've got the telly over here, there'll be a portable telly fitted in here as well. That's the plan in this room. The next jobs to be done is, excuse the light, is to get this bedroom space sorted out once and for all. We're going to line the walls, foam it out, pad it, and that's all that's really required. Cupboard is going up in there, and we've got PVC, white PVC, which is going to be padded as well. There'll be hardboard boards covered with foam, PVC, screwed up into position with buttons, like little screw buttons, and then there'll be some LED lights situated in those areas all the way along and all the way over there. Another job to be done as yet is we've got to tidy up the heating system. We're not quite there with that yet. I still would like a bigger tank. On full power I can only get a day out of that. And we've also got to sort out the electric. So we've got an inverter to put in, bus bars to make, switches here have got to be converted over, batteries to fit. We still ain't done that yet. And another job to be done is these seats have got to be covered and fitted into position. We've got to sort the varnish out on this tabletop, and I'm still having a debate whether to reskin the outside of those walls, and the reason why I'm thinking it's twofold. One, I don't like the carpet. I've gone right off it. It's not tidy, it's untidy. Originally I was going to make a frame, but because that window frame is leaking, I'm thinking about taking them completely out, and the reason for it is once the headrests are in place, there's no window. You won't see out anyway. There's no point to it. So yeah, I am thinking about reskinning, and that way I'll get some brand new alley on there, and then I can polish that up to match what I'm planning to do. And that's the other thing, the exterior of this aluminium is going to get polished. I've already ordered a polishing wheel. I've got a sander, variable speed sander. I have all the necessary clay wax things that you need, and I ain't no expert on it, so I don't know the full name of what they are. So that's a job that's going to get done very soon. What else is there to do? We've then got to wire in the 240 volt plug sockets. There's loads to go in. We've got more lights to wire in, more coverings to put on. We've got a wall to cover and insulate. We've got this part to finish off, and the reason I haven't done it yet is because there's still electrics to go in behind there. We've got a cover. We've got to cut that down the middle and make a cover so we can access the pulley system down there. We've got to then paint all the framework up underneath. Once this is then done, this is close enough for the MOT inspectors and DVLA to accept it as a motorhome. Then we go under the front of the truck, where I have got loads of rubber joints. The actual rubbers themselves have completely perished. I might even have a kingpin that could need replacing, but I'm not 100% sure at this point. I also want to make a pod for the 3 screens. I've also got to wire all the rest of the cameras up. So yeah, we've got a lot of work ahead of us, but a lot of it can be done while I am using the truck. September is my deadline. So fridge needs wiring in, cooker needs plumbing up still. We ain't got all the copper pipes in place yet. We're still down a couple. We've got to get the pipe work put in for the gas bottle. We've got to obtain some gas bottles. So there is a lot, and I mean a lot, still to do. More varnish work. We've got to strengthen those steps up because they're still a bit weak. So we've got that to do, and because I have completely destroyed the laminate floor, I am planning to put carpet down. But what my plan is on the carpet is I'm actually going to come away from the edges by about half a foot to a foot, and I'm going to run an aluminium trim all the way around the carpet, so it's like one big massive rug, but you've still got the laminate around the outside, just because I would like to break the 2 areas up a little bit in colour is why I'm doing that. But it will be a dark coloured carpet. We're not putting a light one down like white. That would be suicidal for mud. We've still got to line all of this area, and we've still got to do all that cab as well. We've got our Union Jack curtain going up on the back bulkhead. We've got a Renault valance to go in over the windscreen. We've still got to trim up all of the plastic covers. I've still got the gear stick to alter, and I've got 2 ball joints underneath that need sorting out as well, because I'm struggling to engage reverse due to those ball joints being worn out. Now I'm out of breath. And then to finish this off with, over the summer months when I haven't got anything to do, like that's going to happen, having nothing to do, we have got to address the rest of the paint. We still want to change this white to black. That's very important to me, having a black cab. We've now got to repair the damage I did the other day, so we've now got to rework the blinking bumper, so I've got to fill those holes up, sort the scratches out, so that's going to have to be repainted again in certain areas. I may even go as far as lacquering all that satin black, because I've kind of gone off it a bit. Everything else is shiny black, but that. So that has to be addressed. We've got that locker to finish off. There's a locker door going there. We've got the generator room as we spoke about, that has to be dealt with, and we've got latches to put on as yet. I have the latches, I just haven't done it. And then the last jobs is the back end. That panel at the bottom is completely naff, and I want to replace that with a sheet of alley, and then we've got to sand all that down, get some bed liner on that. And another job I've been thinking about doing with the bed liner is to respray the truck again in a nicer silver, because that bed liner was naturally white, and when I put the silver in it sent it grey. There is speckle in that, but there isn't enough lacquer to highlight it. Even in the sun it doesn't look very silvery, so it didn't quite work the way I had it planned. Now that is silver. that's definitely grey. So we're going to address that as well probably. So we'll probably spray some base coat silver over that metallic, and then I might even go as far as hitting it with lacquer. Scotch Brite the whole lot down, but that's the bit I don't want to do, is the masking. There's going to be a lot of masking. So job I really don't like doing. So that is pretty much it. That is a very, very quick tour of the jobs left to do. Oh, no it isn't, we've missed one. We have also got to do the solar panels on the roof. So we've got to make a panel plate for that tilts electrically. That has to be fitted with a converter. I haven't bought one of those yet. And also I would like, if I can get some, and I said I'd never do this because of leakage problems, but because I lack light in here, I'm now thinking about putting a couple of decent sized skylights in there. There just isn't a great deal of light getting in, even with that big window there, that window there, but because I've got so many walls in place, that's actually stopping all the light from getting in. So I want it more light, so I'm thinking about a couple of skylights. I was looking at some old Blackstone coach ones online, but the greedy sod wants £100 for those, and I'm not paying that because the plastic's old and brittle, and that's why I'm not paying it. And some would say, well, you don't pay it, you don't get them. That's fine with me, because I have already pulled some Blackstone ones out of a coach a little while back, and as soon as I touched them they cracked. They are that brittle when they get old, bearing in mind the coach comes from the 60s era. So yeah, I have a glass one that can go in. I originally was planning to put it in up this end, but now the solar panels are going in on the roof, there isn't room for it. I can use it up there, but excuse me, I'm not going to get a lot of benefit from it because it is really not that big. So that's it. So on this one, that's about all I can report back to you on. So that is a quick video of the jobs that I can think of at the top of my head that need to be done. We've still got a long road ahead of us. So we'll see you next week with the new video. Bye.